Hey guys, it's Aussie Reptilez here. Now what I'm doing today is just a little video on how to set up a bearded dragon cage, like my fella here, Rango. He was my first reptile I actually bought on my own license, not my family's license. But yeah, this is Rango. We're going to set up his cage. It's a 4 foot by probably like 2 foot high by like 1 foot deep cage, custom built enclosure, part of a rack. Part of a base system, but what we're going to do is we're going to set up his cage, and I just thought why not show you guys how to do it for anyone out there that's interested in buying a bearded dragon and wants to see how they can set up their enclosure. Obviously this isn't going to be how everyone does it, but this is how I do it, so let's just get straight into the video and hopefully you guys enjoy, so let's get into it. Okay, so what I personally use is mulch. Some people use sand, but then sand is also a very controversial topic, whether it causes impaction and blah blah blah. But other people just use either newspaper or like a repti carpet or a fake grass. But I use mulch, and so I'm going to put in the mulch now, and yeah, let's chuck in the mulch. This here is the stuff I use. It's pine grow. Now, as I said, unfortunately it does come wet in the packet. But the heat lights and everything do dry it out, so it does become dry afterwards. So as you can see, I've now laid down the substrate. Like I said, it is moist, or a bit wet, damp, when you first get out of the bag, but it's already starting to dry, and the heat lights and the UV lights definitely dried out as well. But that's all you need, just a little layer like that. As I said, there are multiple different substrates you can use. It's all just preference. I feed my lizards in food bowls, so I'm not too worried about impaction. But if you were to feed them just on the ground itself, I'd definitely recommend newspaper or fake grass or so on. But next, what you do is you grab your accessories like logs, branches, food bowls, water bowls, and blah blah blah, and get that set up. So that's exactly what we'll do. So here we have our very simple, basic design. It's a bit different to how I'd normally set it up. I quite enjoy it. Obviously you've got your water bowl here and some luscious green plants, so it's almost like an oasis sort of in the middle of the bush, sort of green or watery area. You've got your branch. This is where he can sit up and get nice and close to the UV light and absorb those UV rays. Then obviously you've got the hammock, which is where Rango is, and he is also joined by the blue tongue that also lives in here. He sits on the mat too, but I've also provided this little spot here, which is under the hammock. The blue tongue can chill on the log under the hammock and still get the heat. So if he doesn't want to climb up onto here, and yeah, and obviously the log is hollow, so it's a hide in there for both of them to sleep away at night. But besides that, that is the basic, very basic setup for a bearded dragon. Also a blue tongue, but mainly for my bearded dragon. As you can see, he's nice and warm. He's got his mouth open. What that means is he's at the right temperature, so he's letting the heat out while he's absorbing it. He's thermoregulating pretty much. That is all I have to say for this video. Super simple, but doesn't look that bad. So that is Rango and his enclosure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you a bit of knowledge on how you could potentially set up your bearded dragon enclosure. I'm sure my fella here, Rango, will enjoy his setup along with his blue tongue friend. And yeah, I quite like it. Obviously it looks great once you first replace the substrate, but as it gets worn out and used, it does look a bit more messy. But obviously that's why you do changes and change the substrate. And it's good to change the layout because you don't want your lizard feeling like it's in the same spot every time, so if you change the layer, that kind of makes it feel like it's moving around, and it's good for it. Some other lizards don't enjoy their layout being changed, but for bearded dragons, it's definitely good to change it up a while. It gives it a bit of enrichment. But yeah, that is how you can set up a bearded dragon enclosure. As I said, you don't have to do it this way, it's how I do it, and I know a few others that do it my way with just this soil. But you can do it how you like. This is just a rough guideline sort of thing. But hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, as always, give it a like. Leave a comment down below on what you guys want to see next, and whether you want to see a different how to set up a video on a different animal. But as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.